we'll start things off. And as you know, Pickles, it is interactive. So if you have your phone or your tablet, please grab it. Or if it's handy, then just reach down and pick it up. And as a little check-in to see how you all are doing today, I'm wondering to draw your self-portrait and how you are feeling this afternoon. So I have to admit that it is not the
Are you
afternoon for
laughing?
me, but I am assuming that is the afternoon for most of
Obviously.
you. Let's see. Yeah. And this might be someone who's annotating on the screen. You're certainly welcome to do that as well. But yeah, if you just scan that QR code and click on the link, we're just yeah, drawing how we are feeling right now. I am just gonna get rid of some of those annotations because while it would be a cool way to kind of draw on top of each other, if you use the uh, QR code and scan it, I will also put into the chat a link that you can click on if you have trouble scanning the QR code, and that will allow you to gain access just by clicking there as well. So yeah, that should I see someone annotating where the little X is. So maybe they were trying to X out of here. But so cool. So we are feeling I try and impersonate these as best I can. Feeling a little bit tired this afternoon. I know it is the beginning of a long weekend for some of you, so maybe yeah, the sun is shining. Steve, this kind of looks like you. I don't know if that's correct or not, but
Nope, I am the very productive looking tomato plant.
oh, that's Steve. This is Steven then. Nice. You are this is Steve, you are this productive?
Yeah, it's been a good day, good week.
Very cool. Nice. Great to see you all. Wow, this is very cool. Yeah, feeling maybe not so great, feeling good, feeling all over the place. We're getting a thought bubble as well. So we'll stay tuned to see how that shows up. But if this is your first time using Pickles, you'll see that all the drawings show up here in real time as you are using your phone or your tablet or your computer to draw. And one of the cool things that we added to this new platform is the ability of replaying drawings. So if I click on that little play button in the top left corner, I can actually see all of the brush strokes. It tracks even how long they were made to do. So you can kind of get a recap. You can see just how Steve actually drew this tomato plant and when he added all of the little saplings coming in there. So nice. I would say we're kind of a lot of smiling faces, feeling good, feeling happy, but yeah, not so much. Maybe it's the end of a long week and we're just like, man, can we just get to the weekend and zoning out? So, yeah, one of the reasons that I love using Pickles for a check-in to draw how you're feeling is because it allows for authenticity to come out. When we're just talking and using text, sometimes we just say, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." We it's more routine. But then when making people draw how they're feeling, oftentimes that, since it is anonymous as well, it is the authentic how we are really feeling. And I think that allows us just to show up and be this more authentic self in a group setting, which can be hard to do. And so I appreciate all of the Z's that are coming in, and I hope it's not going to be too boring these next 21 minutes, but fear not, it won't last too long after
Are
that.
you about to go on? Agibasha, what's that?
Oh, I don't know if this one is talking to me, but I will see if I can mute everyone, but if not, Yeah, maybe maybe just mute yourself if you want to have side conversations. But if you want to talk about your drawing, like this amazing sun and barbecue and Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day, I've always mixed those up, coming up right here. Yeah, so thank you for drawing, sharing how you're feeling. It is beautiful to see all this. And I'm going to ask one more question before jumping into the pickle story. This is an important one, and this is really a character defining question. So if you had to eat a crayon, what color would you choose? Now, all you need to do is hit done and draw again, and that will take you to the next question. We don't automatically start and drag you to the next question, because sometimes people are drawing and they want to finish what they're doing and then go to the next one. So again, it'll be the 2 green buttons that you have on your screen to just select, yeah, jump, and you'll see the new question up at the top. And my question is, what color crayon would you choose? Now, I know this is probably a pretty hard one because you want to eat all of the crayons. We got blue coming in here with the annotate functionality. I think this is Christine's 1-year-old who's or who she's babysitting. Is like three. We're 3 years old. Nice. Oh, we've got a little blue tooth coming in there, a little yellow with the green. And one of the reasons that I wanted to use this question is because we added into the new version of Pickles here a color sorter. And so I can just click this sort button, and all of you can click this sort button in the newest version of Pickles here. And you can create, if you wanted, a pie chart that will organize everything by color and show you which of those colors have been represented. So this black person, the black response, yuck, crayons, don't like them. But right now, it is a dead heat between purple and red. 3 for each category. We're going to have to see how that might roll out as things continue. But yeah, you can have some creative uses for all of that. And one of the things that we built that for as well is the ability of asking questions and having people use colors to express themselves. Oh, I think now that we got carnation pink and salmon, we've got the reds and the pinks beating. Oh no, purple has 4 as well, so we'll have to tune back into that. But one of the reasons that we built this is because it provides a way when you ask people to select a color of a preference that they have. Let's say, do you like cats or dogs? Fill in green for dogs and yellow for cats. But I tell people, if you just kind of like this, not really, put a little dot. But if you are passionate about dogs, fill in the entire square. This allows people to express not only their preference, but their intensity of preference. And so it provides a way of capturing more nuanced information that oftentimes you won't find in a normal survey. And it gives people an easy way of quickly expressing that. And so there's some other creative ways that you'll be able to find using it. And I'll show you an example of one of those graphs in a second. So let's see. I think we got a dead heat between the purple and the pink, whether it's the salmon or the carnation or yeah, the grape. So cool. I know so much more about you guys. We're feeling a little bit tired. We are excited for the weekend, and oh, we've got a new blue crayon coming in the back. So I'm gonna quickly jump in. Now that we've gotten feel for Pickles and the new version here, I'm just going to show you how it all came about. And if, okay, let me share my screen to the entire screen. So Pickles, I got started when I got my first soul-sucking corporate sales job. And yes, this sales job made me go into a phone booth and call people for 8 hours a day, many times leaving voicemails because they did not pick up this random number. And in this position, I realized how important creativity was for me, which I didn't realize up until that point because I had always felt creative expression in my life. I was always entrepreneurial, mowing lawns, starting companies, and I realized that this was scratching my creative itch. It was making me feel alive. It was giving me passion, and without this, I felt empty. I was just reduced to metrics in this role, and after every week, month, and quarter, all of those were going back to zero. And I had this need to express myself and create. And I didn't know how. I had done a few of these paint nights. My mom is actually here, and I had gotten her that for Mother's Day. And so you have a couple glasses of wine. They tell you how to paint the Eiffel Tower, and it's great. You walk home with this canvas, but I didn't think I could really. This wasn't a sustainable way of tapping into my creative potential because having a buzz on and having someone tell you what to do, it they weren't always going to follow me around in my daily life. So I got thinking, how can I make it more accessible and easy for everyone to build this creative muscle? Because I really think that it is a superpower. We as humans were made to use our hands and our imaginations to bring our ideas to life. And I think that so much of education and society really doesn't encourage that. We want to put each other and put ourselves into boxes so that things are more familiar. But I think we really come alive when we can tap into our creative potential. And so it initially began as a collaborative coloring book. This is the first version of Pickles, and it was made in this way with this thought in mind. I, as someone who did not go to art school, suck at making art. I would try and make the Mona Lisa perhaps, and it would look ugly. I would feel downtrodden, and I would never do it again. But maybe if you give me one tiny little piece, I can't really screw that up so bad. And then with 100 or 1,000 other people, we all just do our little pieces. And together, we've only spent a minute, but we have created something that can be shared with the world. And not only that, it is this strength in numbers. And so you don't feel judged for what you create when you are just a small part of that. And so with that idea in mind, I started building Pickles out as an iOS application, actually. And you'll find out, well, if it was still an iOS application, none of you would have just drawn what your favorite crayon color was because you would still be downloading it in the App Store and deleting pictures of your dog from your phone because you are out of space. So a lot of expensive learning has happened in the journey of Pickles, but this is how it began. And this is why Pickles is called Pickles. It's because it comes from a combination of pictures and pixels. And we put those two words together to create Pickles, where every individual little drawing, it's like a pixel that comes together to form this bigger picture. So you can see which one you did, and then you can see the whole image. And so we created this, and then we got wondering, what are we actually going to do with this? I was not very business savvy. I still don't know if I am, but I was like, all right, I just want to create this. And I didn't really have this problem. I didn't know how to find where creativity was really needed. But we started experimenting and we realized kids, they love drawing. And when they're in the hospital setting, they feel isolated and alone. And by having Pickles in this setting, they could have this cathartic act of coloring, but also feel more sense of connection and community without ever being able to leave their hospital room. So that is the direction that we were actually heading in for about 2 years, building Pickles to be this tool that kids could use. And then the pandemic hit. And you can imagine it was basically impossible to enhance the patient experience when they were just trying to keep from running around with their hair on fire. And so we, at the same time, started using Pickles for different uses, like asking people how they're feeling, or what is your political affiliation. Like to get into some spicy topics because it is anonymous and it allows for everyone to express themselves authentically and then have a group discussion around those responses without putting any one person on the spot. So we created Pickles in that way, and then we started using it in a lot of meetings and events since we weren't in hospitals anymore, and all of these different events had this new need to keep people engaged. So we use it as a virtual graffiti wall at networking events. This was actually a friend of mine who was going to have everyone draw the person across from them. And instead of using all of those clipboards and paper, he used Pickles. And it definitely broke the ice because we all suck at drawing. Some people are good, some people are bad. I suck at drawing. But just by having that authentic and that ability of laughing at each other, it really helped to create some connections. So we've used it at a lot of conferences. Speakers will use it to engage their audiences. I've done keynotes. We've even done draw a tree, plant a tree activations where every tree has a real tree matching it. And I love the fact that some companies saw us doing this for Earth Day and decided to do this on their own. Obviously in the virtual setting or Zoom meetings, or even as a check-in in schools, we have deployed Pickles. And then there's all sorts of things that you can do with all of the drawings you collect. Like in this case, create Mad Libs that tell the story of a community. We will download all of the brushstrokes and create different data visualizations, graphs. And one of the cool things about these data visualizations is that you can see the big picture, kind of like the Mona Lisa, but you can still zoom in on each individual response. It's not like normal data that just gets jumbled and reducing people to numbers, but each response is never going to be created again, totally unique, and will be maintained through that storytelling. So we'll use different colors for people to express themselves, sometimes just create nice looking graphics, and a lot of times having people answering how they feel about things, because it can be hard to put feelings into words, but having this more free-formed approach to just draw and express yourself however you want, it can help to increase the emotional intelligence and start with really giving people an opportunity of expressing themselves, which also lets negative emotions come out, kind of getting away from that toxic positivity. So a lot of different digital products and data visualizations that we've been creating. This is the example of the color graph that I was talking about earlier. These are dining commons on my university campus that I told everyone to color in based on their preference and intensity of preference. So you can see it also allows for people to express what multiple choices they have. So definitely excited to explore some of those applications more. And then we also make videos in a lot of cases. This is one of those end outputs that we will create when we take all the responses. This is an accelerated version. A lot of times we will put them more into a narrative that will tell a strategic plan or a story about the community, but they almost always end in this accumulation turning into the logo of whatever company it may be. Um, and and then there's also physical products that we will create, whether they're journals, t-shirts, more t-shirts, or even window clings that are hanging in hospitals right now. So lots of digital products, physical products, and other, really, the sky is the limit on kind of what can come about. But it is unique in that you really don't see anyone else wearing graphs or charts on their shirts. But because Pickles is visual by nature, there's a lot more that you can do with all of those responses. And one of the cool things that we've also been experimenting with is AI. So we actually were trying to build AI into Pickles until realizing that it is a little bit easier to use what is already out there. So how it works, and I'll share all of these links with you, is just by taking a screenshot. We have created this GPT called Meaning Mining Mode. And what it does is allow you to take a screenshot of the board and upload it right into ChatGPT. I will put the link to that in the chat right now so you can access it. But you'll see it will create a story of the community. I can't guarantee the efficacy and accuracy of all of this, but in the land of the afternoon emotions, where the sun casts a warm golden glow over everything, a group of quirky characters, I guess, gather to share how they feel. And so it'll go over all of the different responses, kind of highlighting them, creating a story. And yeah, it's not always great. This was supposed to create an image. Yeah, this usually is actually creating an image instead of describing an image. ChatGPT is still a bit finicky about that. But once this loads, we should see what this collective image of, all right, that is apparently how us as a community are feeling right now. I don't know exactly how accurate it is, but we've got the good, we've got the tiredness. So yeah, a lot of different things that you can do with it. And I will also throw into the link or into the chat because I want to be respectful of our time, and I know we are coming up right on the 30-minute session. So my.pickles.com is the new location that you will be able to find Pickles, and it looks totally different. We have now daily activities. We have a quick check-in that you can just click to ask how you're feeling. You can book a demo with me at any time. And then you can also go to our help page to get to know Pickles. We have all of the activities that will be saved in here for you. And if you wanted to create a new board, you just hit create a new board. We've got all of these beautiful color palettes that you can choose from to customize how you use it. You can put in your questions up here, customize all sorts of stuff, which I know I won't get into or really have the time to get into right now. But yeah, we've been making it a bit more visual, a bit more fun, and we're only getting started, even though it feels like it has already been a long journey. So before we end, I wanted to kick it back to you and I have one poll for you because we are always building and always adding to this. I'm wondering, for our next features, what you want us to build next. what would you like to see? Is it that collaborative coloring book that you would like us to bring back, the Mona Lisa, or text input, letting people add photos, letting people draw together? Or is it something else? And if it is something else, throw it into the chat. I would love to hear from you because this is really a co-creative process. I do not want to just put my head in the sand and start building. I want to build something that is valuable to you. A lot of people use Pickles as an icebreaker, and I think that is the easiest way to just get started and to incorporate it into your meetings, your events, your workshops. But then there's a lot of other things that we're experimenting with. And it looks like having two people drawing on the same screen is coming up as that winning one. And then photo input next. And then text and Mona Lisa are tied for third place. So, so cool. I will, yeah, keep monitoring this, but I will also put my contact information. I know we are just at time, and this is the, oh no, there's one last thing. We also launched a daily drawing community. And so if you want a daily text that will be sent out with a new prompt and a way to start building your creative muscle in the morning with your coffee, you can click that last link and join that text community. And if you wanted to connect with me, it's chris@pickles.com, which I'm assuming you have because you got those emails, or I'm always on LinkedIn and I would love to connect with you there. And man, I feel like I just did not stop talking. Maybe I didn't even breathe during that, but thank you all. If you have any questions, I'm going to stay on for longer. But thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. I truly, truly appreciate you. And I just want to provide value and help you out. And I would love to, yeah, have this be the beginning of our further conversation so I can help you guys and we can make something great together. So thank you guys. Thank you.